Yeah, yeah, yo, yo, yo. What is going on? What is going on? How's everybody doing today? It's your boy Wild Carmar in the building. As always, it's your boy Detroit Mel in the building.
What up, though?
What up, though? How's everybody doing today? It's episode 221, y'all. 221, y'all. It's episode 221. And man, Rye, what's going on, Rye? Always a pleasure to see you. I appreciate all the love and support, everybody jumping in, chopping up, talking sports with us. Hey, you know the deal. Y'all going over to all the social media platforms that is on the bottom of the screen. All right. I.O.W Sports Network is the handle for the Facebook, the Instagram, and most importantly, the YouTube. Catch all the content there. I.O.W Sports One on Twitter. You can find us there on Twitter, I.O.W Sports One. You see the handles for the Wildcard Mar Twitter at KC Wildcard Mar, and of course, fuck Ant at the D for Detroit.
I'm gonna get it before you get me this time.
But no, y'all know the deal, man. Going over to all those social media platforms, scrolling on the bottom of your screen, and hey, man, continue to show us some love and support. We're gonna keep rocking out with y'all, man. We gotta, man. I know we got a big game on Sunday with the NFL, but the NBA said, "Damn, what y'all got going on, boy? We gonna take all the headlines for the next couple
Right,
of
right.
days, man." So let's start with the first of all. Obviously, it's been a minute since me and Mel had gotten together
Yeah.
on the show since Mel had some things to take care of on Monday, and we had Melvin Wall come in with us. Shout out to Jay Jones, the Man Cave Sports Show. He came through, chopped it up with us, but um, man, first of all, what do you think of the Kyrie Irving uh, trade request, and then eventually getting traded within 48 hours between his trade request on Friday and subsequently getting traded on Sunday to the Dallas Mavericks? Man, first give me your thoughts on that, and then we'll go through the rest of the NBA trades.
Brook on some bullshit. Pretty much, man. That was Kyrie. Kyrie put down what he wanted. They messed, kept messing with him, kept messing with him. So Kyrie like, I'm out. So they trade him. They try to badmouth him. He got traded to Dallas. I just don't think that it's gonna be as good as everybody think it is because Luca like that ball in his hand. And if you really look at Brunson, Brunson's the same type of player, and so to speak, as Kyrie. You know what I mean? Not saying he on the same level as talent, but same type of player. So if it didn't work with Brunson, how's it gonna work with Kyrie? What up, Matt?
I get the same sentiments on me. Um, Obviously, Kyrie made his debut last night. Luka didn't play, nursing a little injury. What's going on, MJ? Champ is here. MJ. Uh, Look, I'm looking at obviously we're talking about the Kyrie trade. Hey, I don't know, bro. Dallas has got a man. Luka's gonna have to change the way he plays. Because my
Right.
thing is I agree with you 100%. Jalen Brunson was a good talent down there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was just fine. Now all of a sudden he can't, you know, wasn't able to get re-signed there. That was, a weird sign of why they weren't able to get him re-signed. So on, move on. Cool. Uh, but my thing is, Kyrie is not your typical. He's not your typical sidekick, part of your big three. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
Like Kyrie is typically a number one,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're asking him to, you know, get along with a guy that's been, uh, not so sharing of the basketball or sharing of the highlights or no, just I mean, and I don't know if that's just him or that's just how they running the offense.
Right. You can't have two Batmans, Batman.
And that's what it is. Can't
Mm-hmm.
have two Batmans, And if you're asking, you're gonna have to ask one of them to be a Robin. And the only problem is in Dallas, um, Luca fits what Mark Cuban wants as his Batman,
Mm-hmm.
European white boy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just had almost 20 years of Dirk. Now they move on to Luca.
Trying to recreate dirt.
Yeah. So, and not saying that Kyrie can't be the number one. I mean, I think
Right,
we are.
Matt.
I look. You got two highly skilled individuals in your backcourt, and I don't know how it's going to work. But damn it, when I saw Kyrie play last night against the Clippers, I'm like, man, well, Kyrie good, man.
Oh yeah, good. Man. Yeah. And he got to guard some bigger. He got to guard some bigger guards. Kyrie does. Luka don't play defense. You can get rid of Finney Smith. That's your defense right there.
It's funny you
Got
say
some
that.
points. You got
Melvin
rid of
Wall said the same thing on Monday.
yeah,
He said now that leaves who's who's Luca gonna guard now? If you got Kyrie back there, obviously he's going to take on the point guard because they're similar in size.
mm-hmm.
So you're gonna put Luca on shooting guards,
Right. He already
man.
don't play defense.
You sure you sure
Now
you
he,
want Luca,
now,
you sure you want Luca on shooting guards
now he
now?
about to go on vacation on defense.
like
He was cherry
let's
picking before. Think about to chop down the whole damn tree. For real.
I- look. I don't know if this is just a money grab for Kyrie because he's not winning no championships in Dallas, man. I just don't see it. I don't see enough defense. I don't see enough. I don't see enough defense that's going to be able to stop another team from scoring. Obviously, I think the offense is going to be there. Kyrie's
The
going to
offense
score.
gonna be
Luka's
there.
going to score. Yeah, which is all
So,
well and fine.
one
But
gonna score 60.
yeah, both of y'all going to score 60 apiece.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
There's 120 right there, guaranteed. 120, guaranteed. But
It's going back to his motherland.
I mean, but you know.
See? I told you that's why my name is what it is, Aunt.
No, so,
Oh, you can't
so
see it now.
yeah, you can't see it. I'll take it off it. There you go. Fuck
Hey,
Ant.
there you go, Aunt. So I knew he was gonna start.
Got it right on the Detroit Mail. Fuck Ant.
So I knew he was gonna start, so I got you early.
You knew he was gonna be on some bullshit.
You knew he was gonna be on some bullshit.
I ain't got time for
sensed
that
it.
shit.
I sensed it. I was like, I smell some Ant bullshit in the air.
I smell some bullshit. I smell it. Gotta get to that motherfucker before he gets me. I see that's what we doing today. It's okay. It's okay. But no, man, I don't. And here's a crazy thing with Dallas getting Kyrie. He has no guarantee that he's going to stay.
Right.
He has full ability to walk out at Dallas, Texas at the end of the summer, in free agency and still, you know, it's always coming. I come for blood. Look, Kyrie still has a chance to get to LA.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Now he wasn't gonna get to LA. If he was gonna go to LA, it was gonna be the Clippers. It was not going to be the Lakers. Josiah made sure that he was not gonna send him to the Lakers.
Rumors say Kyrie might go to the Suns next year.
You know what I'm saying? He was not going to the Lakers. So I'm just is that move, man. It's literally a move that can short-term gain, but you have no idea of your long-term games if it's going to be able to even get to a long-term situation just because of the fact that Kyrie can easily walk out at the end of the summer and be like, nah, Dallas ain't for me.
Hey man, I'd be interested if what Ant saying is right, man. He go to the Suns. They already favor with what they got now. You can force if you don't retire, force Chris Paul to retire. You got the same team.
Chris Paul, man. So you know, You like the trade. Obviously, I think it's fair to say we like the trade for Kyrie. He gets out of that toxic situation in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn gets Dorian Finney-Smith. They get Dinwiddie back in the trade.
Right.
Some picks. I don't give a damn about those picks, um, but Brooklyn wasn't done. Brooklyn was not done. Literally about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, because I literally rolled over and and wiped my eyes, checked my phone, and next thing I see all kinds of alerts. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Obviously, something had to go. Yeah, John Wall going back to Houston.
That's a contract. That's a
Yeah, that was a contract dump.
yeah. That's all that is.
Uh, so literally last night, 1:30 in the morning, breaking news: Kevin Durant goes to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wow. Uh, it, I'm looking at Brooklyn and I'm laughing. I'm laughing at Brooklyn because in the last 2 years, you have managed to acquire James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Y'all got no huge playoff runs,
Right.
no NBA Finals appearances, no NBA championships. A lot of drama, a lot of that, a lot of drama, but nothing to show for
Y'all done messed poor Ben Simmons up, man. He really gonna be all messed up. Like everybody gone. And he got have abandonment issues. For real.
He like, I thought I was coming to something good,
Right. You have abandonment issues. Cause
bro.
man,
How
I
does this
don't
happen?
know, man. I think KD might have been like, look, man, I want to play with Kyrie. I ain't got rid of you, did my boy dirty. I'm out. And it's like, all right, cool. And they probably just like, they might have some kind of condition in his contract, or they might discuss something, or they probably just got tired of him whining about it. Like, all right, deuces, and get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? They like your nappy head ass anyway. Got rid- you know what I'm saying?
It's just nappy headed ass. Uh, man, bruh, I'm the reason why I'm really bugging out is because you literally had three of the top 50 players in the NBA right now on your roster, weren't patient enough to let it happen. Um, traded away all three of them.
Mm-hmm. Still got Milwaukee though, eh?
Yeah, Milwaukee's gonna be in there. I know Boston's at the top of the seed. Milwaukee's no chump though. Come on, Ant. Let's
I mean,
not do that.
they ain't really do much in the trade, but
But they didn't really have to.
they still
I
need some
mean,
shooters.
yeah, I
You
get
know,
what you're saying.
they shooters go on vacation too.
Oh
You
no,
know,
look, Chris Middleton is inconsistent. Drew Holiday inconsistent
he
on the
get
offensive
he
side.
get ghosts.
On the offensive side, I'm gonna say Drew Holiday's inconsistent.
He get ghosts. You like, what happened?
um,
Where that
but
nigga at?
man, look, this shows you how poorly ran that franchise was getting ran by Joe Tsai, the owner,
Yeah,
and Sean Marks is the general manager, who's supposed to be a basketball guy. But this guy looks like he don't know shit about
man.
basketball.
They need to. He don't need to have a job, bro. Yeah. How you put together a team who, when they first came together, everybody was picking them the favorite to win everything. They
Hmm.
underachieved because of, I think the first year was injury.
Hmm.
Second year they no yeah, the first year they didn't have Kyrie, but still was the favorite. Still had injuries. Second year they got Kyrie. Then I think was that the pandemic then?
Well, the first year, they got KD and Kyrie. Kyrie
Right.
played a little bit,
That's what it was.
and KD was hurt
Right, that's what it was.
from the finals, had the Achilles. Second year, um, KD and Kyrie played a little bit together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and later you get James Harden in the season.
Yeah.
Third
The
year was a pandemic year, or I'm sorry, the vaccination year.
vaccination year. So Kyrie kind of set out some of that because of the vaccination.
Yeah,
You
and
get rid of
then
James Harden. You bring in
yep,
Ben Simmons.
yep,
Still favorite because Ben Simmons still gives you defense.
mm-hmm.
You
And
let the rest
assisting and passing
you let
on,
the
yeah,
rest score. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? So you didn't lose much. And then you still underachieved that year. Then you
Yeah,
come in this year, was you on an 18 and 2, 18 and 1, something like that run,
yeah,
and now you have nothing.
absolutely nothing.
You know what I'm saying? The players you got are basically they role players. I mean, they good role players, but still basically role players.
Oh, bro, they didn't took all, they what they did is they literally took all the furniture, all the clothes, all the food out of a mansion and let that motherfucker with just the walls.
Yeah, man,
Took all the paintings off. So
right.
hey, that house is no longer a home. It may be a mansion, but that bitch is not a home no more.
But you got a team full of bitches left at the club at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what you got. Guess I'll take her. That's
yeah,
what you got.
Matt saying 74 games total played together, which sucks. Look, I know there's been a lot of injuries. I know there's been, time missed because of whatever situation it is.
Right.
I get it. I absolutely get it. But come on now, like we gotta find a way to be okay with the fact that injuries happen. You just got to be patient. Sean
Hmm.
Marks wasn't patient enough. Josiah wasn't patient enough, and then you see superstars who are noticing that they can't run an organization. And here's my final conclusion. I think of what really happened. You see KD, you see Kyrie, what they thought they was going to get out of the franchise is not what they got. Like I think the team appeased them to get certain players to help them win, but
Right.
they didn't get the right coach, you know,
Mm-mm.
and Steve Nash.
Yeah, I forgot
They
about that
didn't
part too. And Steve Matt part, right?
they didn't get the right atmosphere. Obviously, you see how I mean, just if I'm Kyrie, hey, I couldn't wait to get out of there. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers treated me like I was such a bad cancer to your franchise. Like, get me
Right.
the hell out of here. So and then if you're KD, you're like, well, damn, if you treat my homeboy like that for the reason why I'm here, then I'm damn sure ain't staying.
Right.
So you lose. You lose by association.
Mm-mm.
the moment the moment you shipped Kyrie, you should have been counting down your days to lose KD. Because they
Right.
both made it clear early in the season. KD already made the trade request. Y'all had to talk him off the ledge. Firing Steve Nash wasn't enough. And this is why I gotta give Melvin Wall props. Obviously, we go to him and defer to him when it comes to basketball. He
Mm-hmm.
said you got to get rid of Sean Marks too, and they kept him.
Right. It would
And
never
so,
run NYC.
hell no, the Nets will never run NYC, and neither will the Knicks because y'all need some help trying to claim y'all city back too. Right now, that's a Giants and Jets town right now.
We defer to PS 105. Watch their games.
For real though. So, but no, the Knicks actually look decent. Jalen Brunson's been doing amazing for them.
Oh man.
He's got them playing well. Got Julius Randle finally figuring out how he can play basketball again. So, um, no, I'm not going to harp too bad on your Knicks, man. I'm not going to harp too bad on them. But man, two massive trades right there with KD and
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie. The Brooklyn Nets, man. I don't know what Josiah is going to do, but he should definitely consider starting all the way over. Go get you a new GM, one that
They,
can actually
they need to consider moving to Long Island.
so,
Get the hell out of Brooklyn. Maybe change the scenery might help.
so get the hell out of there.
Change the scenery might help. Move to Ithaca or somewhere.
Because this ain't it, Chief.
This ain't it. Like all the interconnects.
Yeah. Um, I see AP saying that they saved $100 million. That's fine, but you ain't got no product to put on the court,
Right.
bro. Yeah, you got all that money. Yeah, you ain't got no product to actually
Right.
put on the court that's worth buying, worth watching.
What you gonna watch?
Don't get me wrong, Cam Thomas he put in I think it's what 340-point games in a row or something like that.
The Brooklyn
Which is
Nets is
fine.
the New York Knicks in black.
Said the New York Knicks in black. Hey, AP, I agree. They're going to build around Cam. Obviously, you get all the pieces back from trading Kyrie and trading KD. Cam Thomas that's your future. That's what he's been displaying the last 3 games. Like I said, I think he had like 40 plus points in the last 3 games. So, yeah, he's the one that you build after. I mean, for sure. But let's look at the. We talked about the Mavericks, talked about the Nets. Let's look at the Phoenix Suns, big homie. Now that you add KD, is it automatic that they in the finals?
You can't say nothing's automatic, but you look at the year they went to the finals and what they had there. You didn't really lose a lot in that trade. You know, you lost some good defense. Don't get me wrong, and some outside shooting. You did lose that. You make up the shooting with KD.
You make up a lot with KD,
right? I'm saying, but you make up your shooting with KD. You just need one. You need 1 or 2 halfway decent players. You don't need like those superstars, and you know you good. Cause look at all the rest of the teams on the West. I mean, Clippers did pretty good in the trade. Lakers did okay, but I don't think what the Lakers did is good enough to beat what Phoenix got, or the Clippers for that much. I mean, the Clippers. Now I will say this about the Clippers. The Clippers is like the Minnesota Vikings. You know what I'm saying? They good and always get the hype until the playoffs.
Until they finally let you down.
Right. So they're gonna have to prove it. But on paper, it looked like it's Phoenix, then the Clippers, then everybody else.
Okay.
Talking about the West.
Man, it's crazy that the West really got all the power. Shift went right back to the West.
Right.
Because I think there was a lot of balance. There was a the only problem is AP. I don't think
they did trade Eric Gordon. I saw that.
I don't think you're gonna get a full year. I don't think you're gonna get a full year for Luka and Kyrie because I think Kyrie is gonna base whether he re-signs with Dallas or not based off of these last few weeks. I'm willing to bet. Because I'm willing to bet that he was just like, yo, I don't care where I go, just get me the hell out of Brooklyn first, and I'll worry about that shit later. Just get me out of Brooklyn first. And now that he's out of there, does he? To me, it all depends on Luka. It 100% depends on Luka because if I'm Kyrie, I'm how good I am, I'm not going to keep just sitting here just playing second fiddle and standing by the 3-point line hoping I get the basketball. Like, dude, I'm just as good as you, Luka, if not better. Right. So why the hell would I keep sitting here looking like a Robin when I got Batman skills? You know what I'm saying? Hey, how long do you sit there and just continue to just be a bystander? Kristaps Porzingis was a bystander. Jalen Brunson was a bystander. Spencer Dinwiddie was a bystander. Everybody that has been in Dallas that has somewhat of any inclination of any talent has been a bystander to Luka.
NBA is a trade and then let them walk and buy the contract. I know it is crazy, man.
A lot of that stuff's money moves. A lot of that stuff is just pushing the money.
It's just interesting how the fuck happened. Something disconnected. I don't know what the heck it was.
No, anyway. I hear you and I see you.
Okay, cool. We're good. I heard that. I'm looking like, what the hell? But anyway, it's funny how like in NFL, you know, the biggest thing is the draft. in the
Mhm.
NBA, the big thing trade deadline. Can't wait till the
Yeah.
trade deadline to see what's gonna happen. You know, but I think with the West, the way it is, and since we talk about Phoenix, they only like one or two decent players. I mean, you only have a superstar away for just being dominant. Because you technically, if Chris Paul wasn't on the back end of his years, I think you can call it a super team. I think since Chris Paul's on the back end of his years, you can't really call it a super team. You know, he still
Uh,
has skills. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away.
okay.
I'm not taking his
Okay.
skill away from him, but he's not in his prime. You know what I
I'll
mean?
give you that.
You don't have a
I-
prime Chris Paul. I think you had a prime Chris Paul and Durant and Booker and Aiton. Yeah, you could say you got. I mean, that's one of the best. That'd be one of the best fours to match up with any team.
Mm.
I mean, I say that now what they have, but you still have like Chris Paul can't play defense like he. You know what I'm saying? He's slow.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he is.
He older, slower, so he not Chris Paul back in the day. You know, so I think if you had him back in the day or a prime Chris Paul, man, and that'd be a super team, bro. But you still got KD can make up some of that slack on offense. You know, he got to stay healthy too, though.
Yeah.
He got to stay
Yeah.
healthy. You know, outside of that, man, I don't see nothing else really on the West to talk about. What the Warriors did, they weren't all that great. I mean, they got Peyton back, got
Yeah,
rid
they
of
got paid.
Wiseman.
Got rid of Wiseman. Well, I think that Wiseman move, it was probably the writing was on the wall that he just didn't fit their system. Which is actually I'm actually surprised that Steve Kerr um didn't try to wasn't patient enough to try to find the way that Wiseman can play basketball, because I think Wiseman in the right system, and of course if he's healthy, I got to throw that in there. If he's
Yeah,
healthy, and if he finds the right system, he's a big that can spread the floor.
yeah.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
I do like him in Detroit. I like what Detroit doing on that young team.
See, that's the problem with Detroit. Y'all always collect a whole bunch of young talent, and
Mhm.
you collect it and you collect it and you collect it.
And
You
then get
don't
rid
get
of
the
it.
right. You don't get the right coaching to maturate it
That's the best thing, right? I mean, that's the most right there. They
or
always
mature.
don't have the right coach. That's
Yeah,
a need.
and
Because
so
they need to get rid of the
therefore,
coach they got now.
yeah, hey, I mean, I like Dwayne Casey. It's just the fact of the matter is just that I don't.
Man, they can get
He,
somebody better than him. Who coaching by St. Martin DePores? Who
but
called that King?
but you wild. But no, I just think what it is with Detroit, you get so much talent that gets collected. Like I said, the coaching don't let it mature, and so by the time it's like you either got to pay them or you just sit there just continue to try to sell the minimum tickets that you got. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
God.
So
Are you talking about the
look,
iced tea?
I love some Arizona iced tea, man. That shit ain't.
Yeah, that what Matt talking about?
I think that's what he's talking about. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know.
okay.
No,
All
you know how he is. He talking this shit about his team,
right.
but no. I with Phoenix,
Mm,
but with Phoenix in particular.
right.
Now that you got KD, and I gotta say it because he's a polarizer fixture when it comes to Chris Paul. There's no more excuses. We just gotta say it, bro. There's no more excuses on why you can't get a championship.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's automatic that because you got KD
you got a
that you get a
damn good
championship,
chance.
but damn it, you got a damn good chance to get a
Right.
championship when you got KD on your roster. I
That's
mean, the
true, but
guy
I mean,
he was an MVP candidate before he had the injury and had to sit out for a couple of weeks. The dude was balling this year,
yeah.
and now you instantly add that to your. Are we forgetting that Devin Booker is liable to drop 40, 50 at any moment? Like, come on, Devin Booker is that good.
You got a rim
He is that
protector
good.
in DeAndre Ayton.
Yes, you got a rim protector in
You
DeAndre
got a
Ayton.
ball facilitator in Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you got pieces there. You got pieces there. I
You
forgot
gave
forgot
up
what
a
they
lot
did.
to get him though.
Yeah, you gave it what you need. You could have gave up one, kept one of those players. I don't care who it is. I think
I
they
would,
would
I
just
would, I
lose.
would try to keep Mikael Bridges.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, my point is that all you need is just one.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you would want the best out of that out of those three. I'm just saying, but if you kept one of them, it'd have been over with.
yeah, I'm with you.
It'd been over
Uh,
with. But I mean, like I say, still got a good chance because you got KD.
you was
But
able to keep.
I just want to say though, KD, that dry sun is not good for your nappy hair out there in Phoenix. Just a word of advice, man. Trying to look out for you. You think it was bad in Texas, boy? Phoenix is worse.
better drink that water, boy.
That water.
You better get
Stay
your
hydrated.
stay very hydrated, cause you gonna need it, bro. You gonna need it. Um, but I mean, Torrey Craig has been doing well for him at small forward.
Mhm.
Um, you got him. Obviously CP3, Cameron Payne as your backup point guard
I
who can
forgot
still
about Payne.
do good for you. Like you said, DeAndre Ayton. The only problem is that with Phoenix making this trade is I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, Kevin Durant makes up for a lot that you just traded away to get for him." He does. But what I'm saying is, it shortens your rotation off the bench.
Hmm. Right.
Um, I mean, do you want Chris Paul playing 40 minutes?
No, you really don't.
You don't
Especially like before the playoffs. You want to.
exactly. You don't want Chris Paul playing 40 minutes because first of all, Chris Paul is good for missing weeks in and weeks out because of his body is just old. He's older.
Yeah, he's older. Yeah.
So now you put what 40 minutes on that body? He's
Mm.
37. Come on. He ain't 27 no more. He ain't no spring chicken.
Right. No.
So look, that's my only drawback for Phoenix going all in. But they went all in, and they're saying we're going to get the championship, and you get 3 years. 3 years is left on this contract at
Mm-hmm.
past this All Star break in the rest of this season. You get 3 years, so that does leave you with a window. That does leave you with a championship window, especially with him, Devin Booker.
Right.
I'm not sure how long you keep Chris Paul along for the ride. I'm actually surprised that they even offered him a contract after they went to the finals a couple of years ago. Because I just thought, I'm like, I don't know if you give an older guy past mid-30s that type of money for that long. But
Right. Right.
that's neither here nor there. But I mean, you can easily get out of that contract and move on from Chris Paul at some point if you really wanted to. But right now, I'm not saying they're the favorites. And reason why I'm not saying they're the favorites is because we just got to be frank about the situation. You still got to find chemistry. You
Mm-hmm.
know, these guys ain't. They may know each other. They may kick it with each other in the off season, but they don't play together. They ain't
Right.
played together. Um, and you still got Dallas in front of them at the 4 seed, Sacramento at the 3 seed, Memphis 2 seed, and Denver at the 1 seed. You got teams that are are playing well in front of you. Um, they're actual gelling teams that have already had their bumps and bruises, time to come together as a team and get that continuity. They just are. They're going to be at a different spot than what the Phoenix Suns are just going to be at. In just all honesty, and that's just the fact of the matter is because these guys haven't played together yet, and we don't even know when Kevin Durant is going to even come back healthy yet. We don't know that. It
Mm-hmm.
might be a couple of more weeks. Might even be past All Star break. We don't know. So I mean, to me, there's a lot of question marks early, but there's a good chance that look. They're the 5th seed. They're still going to be in the conversation of the Western Conference Finals,
Right.
just off of pure talent, just the
Mm-hmm.
fact of who they got on the roster, just off of that fact alone.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, man. It's going to get real interesting. Hey, they finally got rid of Russell Westbrook out in L.A., man.
I saw. I saw.
Finally, finally got rid of him. Finally got rid of him. He goes
About
to
time.
Utah. Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
goes to Utah. Mike Conley goes to Minnesota, and in Minnesota, D'Angelo Russell comes back to LA. I saw a lot of teams traded for players that used to be on the franchise a lot on this
Right.
trade deadline.
I did.
Gary Payton goes back to Golden State.
So, mm-hmm.
D'Angelo Russell goes back to LA. John Wall goes back to Houston. Eric Gordon goes back to Clippers. He used to play for the Clippers. Who else? There's a couple other guys that got traded to some teams that they used to play
I want to
for.
say, why didn't Miami get rid of oh boy, I can't think of his name.
Udonis?
No,
Oh,
Carl Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. Oh,
Why you didn't get rid of Carl Lowry, bro?
and he's
Bruh,
expensive. He's an expensive
he's
old guard,
expensive,
bro.
old, and last playoff he showed how old he was. You talk about disappearing,
Mm.
bro. That basket could have been 50 feet wide. He wasn't hitting it. You know what I'm saying? He was not
Damn.
hitting it.
Damn, 50 feet wide. Damn, you can't
50
hit
feet
that,
wide, he
guys.
wasn't hitting it, bro. He wasn't touching nothing.
God damn.
For real. I was like, come on, man. He was a liability on defense. And you went, why you ain't moving? I don't understand that. That's something y'all should have did. Even if it's just to get rid of that contract and just, do something next year. Just get rid of the contract, move him.
Just do
Like,
something.
do something. You should have moved him and what's my man name? He got another contract they're paying a lot of money for. For Michigan.
Oh, the shooter. What's his
Yeah.
name?
I don't know why I can think of his name. But anyway, they could have moved his contract.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They
It's
didn't do
not to
that
bother
either.
me.
Yeah. I see his face and everything. I can't think of his name. But yeah, they none of that. They didn't do nothing. Nothing. They could have, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand that.
All right, so you're saying the Miami Heat are your biggest loser as a team because they made no moves.
They ain't do nothing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like if you can't get anything that you can't make any deals happen, that's fine. But at the very least, if you see something that's a liability in your team or something that's holding your team back or it's going to be something that's going to hinder your team in the future,
Oh,
you make moves to
Duncan.
do that.
That's who you're talking
Duncan.
about.
Yeah, Duncan. Yeah,
Duncan
Duncan
Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson. That's my thing. You should, you could at least do that because that either sets you up for maybe to make a run later on or later on that season or next year you can make a move. You know what I'm saying? Because you can move that money. Now you got money to get somebody else. You ain't do nothing. You got basically the same team that you had last year that you didn't win with.
Mm.
And now you paying Lowry all this money and he is a liability.
And he's still prone to get injured.
Right. And injury prone.
Yeah, because he missed a lot of the playoff push last year because he was hurt.
Motherfucking ducking. Yeah, so that's why I understand what was Miami thinking.
He's a great value, Chris Paul, but he's getting paid the same amount of Chris Paul.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, for real. So it's like you got the money to shop at Nordy's, but you dealing with Walmart.
You still like Piggly Wiggly and shit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. Do something. You gotta do better than that. This the big leagues.
Hey, I can't cap. I'm gonna still shop at Piggly Wiggly's even though I got Harris Teeter money. Piggly Wiggly's got that orange. They got that orange drink, man. You know.
They got rid of all the Piggly Wigglies now.
Nah, they did.
And Wayne Dixie, you can't find none of them.
Nah, all them shits is gone. But one of my biggest losers in all this. One of my biggest losers in all this is the Chicago Bulls.
They ain't doing nothing either.
Well, I wasn't expecting them to do nothing. I was expecting them to actually sell and actually recoup a lot back. Because, well, yeah, you're right. They're still doing something.
Yeah, they're still doing something.
Because you got DeMar DeRozan sitting there who's been playing well since he's been in Chicago, been playing well in San Antonio. Hell, had a good career. He still has value to his name. Sasha Vujacic, who you got in the center,
Right.
has value. Hello, Zach Levine, still in his mid to late 20s, has value at a shooting guard. So there's three players off rip that you got that have value, and that team is not gelling well. And not only that, they've been underachieving a lot this year. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't able to really do much in the playoffs last year. Didn't
Right.
really do much the year before. So even when they made all those trades to get in all that talent, which looked good, Lonzo Ball, it looked good. Alex Caruso, it looked good, and Bulls were what they were one of the surprising teams.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, none of it is working. Just
No.
go ahead and go ahead and because I know that they're in the play-in tournament, but hell, they're the ninth seed. There's no way. First of all, that even if they get out the play-in tournament, they're not better than any of those other teams that's up above them.
You know,
That's
they remind me of, remember that when they had that year when they had like Lou Dang and all them players on the team.
Elton
That's a,
Brand.
Elton Brand and all them. They remind me of that team, just a step up. That's
Mhm.
it. You know, and my thing is, if you see it's not working, get rid of some of your players that still has value. Start over.
Yeah, get your value while you can.
Yeah. You know, like, I'm a firm believer in having to kind of like, you know, business. Like, you know, if you got a player that you know somebody still got value in, you get some, even if it's just like collecting picks, get some picks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do something to, if you don't win this year, you know, you still got years down the line. The Chicago Bull brand is represent Chicago, you know, for a long time. So my thing is, okay, we might not be able to win this year. We tried to experiment. If I got to clean everything out, start over, I'd rather do that than to keep trying to patchwork, and not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this ain't working.
Yeah.
You wait till like all your players get old and nobody want them.
Yeah, what you gonna do with all these old decrepit motherfuckers?
Right. And the geriatric ward, geriatric bulls. Motherfuckers coming out there practicing in walkers.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, these old
Right.
motherfuckers. God damn it. What am I gonna do with these motherfuckers? You can't do shit. Can't do a damn thing.
Yeah.
Um
They like the Chicago Generals.
uh so check this out, big bro. So
Yeah.
Tuesday night, uh, you know, uh, a guy that can be considered a goat by some people,
Okay.
LeBron James,
Let's see how this going.
Paflapa James.
La Floppa
Yeah,
James.
eh, so LeBron James, all-time point scorer in NBA history.
Right.
Um, I was literally, on the Midnight Owl show when it, late night owl show when it
Mhm.
happened. Um, Great. Look, you know what? I'm gonna let you have it. You go ahead, drop your piece, and just kind of give what's your thoughts on LeBron James becoming the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and does it change anything about who you see as the GOAT? And remind the people of who your GOAT is.
um, Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to probably say it's still Jordan.
Hmm.
Still Jordan. I mean, I've always been a Kobe
Wait,
fan.
hold on. You said still Jordan, as in you was already on Jordan is the GOAT.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
I'm just want clarification. That's
yeah.
all.
I mean, you know,
That's all.
I'm
That's
always
all.
gonna be a Pistons fan by heart. Always gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? But I still recognize who Jordan is or was as a player. You know, I mean, I mean, far as me as a being biased, you know, I was always a Kobe Bryant fan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy into like when people say, "Well, he just copied Jordan." Every player copies other players.
Mm-hmm. At some point in time.
That's I mean, and when you grow up playing, if you really whatever sport, if you're really a person of that sport, you emulating somebody
To a certain
to
degree.
get your, you know what I'm saying, and then you probably develop your skills that you have on top of what you already emulated.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's a weak argument.
Yeah.
You know, he still I can emulate Jordan all I want. I don't have that skill.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what I'm
not
saying?
Michael Jordan.
I'm
Yeah.
not Michael Jordan. If I was, we'd be sitting in this podcast right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
This would be
we
a very, very different look on our production.
very different look at our production. I would have that damn green screen right here.
We'd be in full on
I'd be like,
studio.
and cut. All right, break out the bitches. Sorry. Like, more water, bitch. Sorry. So, since I'm not, I had to go get my own damn water. You know what I'm saying?
Grapes.
Like, grapes. Kitty. All right, we're back on there. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole production. But since I'm not Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying? But I think that you got to look at it like this, man. You know, I know people gonna argue, well, he played as long, and of course he's gonna break his record. Yeah, you have an argument there, but I still give a nod to a person still has to be able to accomplish it. You can play in the NBA 50 years. If you was doo-doo, you ain't breaking Kareem's record. You know what I'm saying? So you still have to have some type of skill to be able to break the record. And I think an argument can be made about the longevity of player and all that stuff, but I still say on the surface of it is a great accomplishment. You know, it's something to look at. It's going to cement him as in the public eye as a great figure in basketball. The man is skilled. I think, and I always say this about LeBron, I think his size takes away what people see him as a player. What I mean by that, if you watch Kobe, if you watch Jordan, and go back to Anthony Hardaway, players like that, they so finesse and smooth when they move that it's a aestheticness to what you see in them when they play. Versus LeBron is so big and bulky, he comes down like it's like rough. You know what I'm saying? So it's like football on a basketball court. You know, it's not as smooth, it's not as elegant. So I think the aesthetic part plays into it. Let's go. Let me I'll give you this. Look at Sean Kemp. All right, Sean Kemp was smooth operator when it comes to basketball, but unless you're actually a basketball person like Mel is, you know what I'm saying? You can actually break down numbers and see what he actually doing and say, okay, let's take all the finesse out of it and see what he actually is as a player. You know, I think for that argument, I think you look at LeBron and his, I don't want to say bulky. I mean, I try to think of a good word for it, but you know what I'm saying? Because his size,
he is bulky.
he's bulky,
LeBron is what, 6'8", 260, solid, bulky, chiseled, muscular man. That's what he is.
Yeah. And so it takes away from the aesthetic of his play. And I think that's why a lot of people getting that. Oh, well, look at him. Shaq. Look at Shaq. Shaq was a big dude, especially when he came in the league. Wasn't too many people big as Shaq. So Shaq was bullying people. But you still can't take away that Shaq still had a level of skill.
He did.
He had a level of skill. Whatever you want to put it. No, we can talk about free throw shooting, all that stuff. My bigger point is he had a level of skill, but his size was so dominant that it took away from what his skill was. I think LeBron's in that kind of same category. He's so big and bulky, and size wise, it takes away from what he actually does on the basketball court. His little flopper James, all that kind of stuff. Like it or not, he still is a great player. Where you put him at in the top 10, that's a whole other discussion. But
all subjective.
It's all subjective, and it's good for a good argument. I don't think when you talk about points alone defines how good you are as a player. Because then you got a lot of players that scored a lot of points. Does that mean they better than Kobe, Magic, LeBron? You got players that score more than Magic. That mean they're a better player than Magic.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like to go down that argument with you. I still want to give him his flowers for what he did, what he accomplished. Then in another conversation, we can talk about those other issues.
Yeah.
So my hats go off to him for breaking the record. I know I went a whole round around the corner and back, but that's what I do.
Yeah. No, that's I actually like the way you put that. Because
Man, I'm gonna say this though, man. And you know what?
Hey, what I'm
gonna say
saying,
this.
he's fair to have his opinion.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I'm not besmirching his opinion. What I'm saying is that you still have to say.
Hold on, spell it.
I can spell it, but come on, let's get on this. Because you make me lose my train of thought. I get the flow and I forget something.
My bad,
I forget. Shit. What I was gonna say is, you can't call him a scrub.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He may not be in your top 10. That's fine. We can argue that all day. That's a good conversation. I can't go as far as call him a scrub.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't Chuck Nevitt out here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give him his props. You may not like his style of play. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's style of play don't appeal to everybody. I mean, as much as I like Kobe, some people can't stand the way Kobe played.
Oh, a lot of people hated Kobe.
I mean, I didn't like Jordan because of I'm a Piston fan. But my hat still go off and salute the skill that he had.
Because you recognize what he was.
Right. So I know he was great. You know what I'm saying? While he was playing, I never would have said that. I'm like, fuck Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Okay, he's a pigeon.
I don't want no scrub. Fine. He a pigeon. We don't want no pigeons.
LeBron, Luka going to break your necks and how you. But then that goes back to my point though, and it's like, does that mean that if Luka breaks his scoring record, that means was Luka better than LeBron?
No, that just means you scored a lot of points.
Scored a lot of points. He played in a system that allowed him to score a lot of points.
Yeah, and that's how
I don't take away from Luka being a skilled player either.
That's how I feel about LeBron. Is the offense that was built around him was designed for him to score a lot of points, but it was specifically designed for him to make the decision. Make the decision whether to take it to the hole and score it or pass it to the teammate and get the shot.
Because they're clearly open. Record, stop him.
Yeah. No, you're right. Stop him. But here's one thing that I gotta add into the LeBron discussion.
Go ahead.
To me, the scoring record, yes, how impressive it is still about a record of longevity, because this man is literally, for the last few years, has not been the healthiest he's ever been in his career in LA. Where he's missing multiple basketball games. And then you also look at the fact that after games, this man is literally icing his whole body down because he is just hurting so bad.
8% pass goes up.
He's hurting. His body is hurting.
38. What's LeBron? 38.
Yeah, he's 38. But just he got a lot of mileage. I mean, you're talking about all the time he's been in the playoffs, all the playoff minutes he's logged. Then you're talking about all the minutes he didn't log from playing summer ball for Team USA, and literally coming right off a playoff run. So you're talking a lot of mileage where LeBron for probably a good decade really didn't have an off season. And so I will give LeBron his credit for that. The man was durable for a good portion of his career before he got to LA. Because he logged a lot of basketball minutes. I'll give him his props there. He was very durable during all of that. But my thing is now you are doing it all to make sure you stay healthy. Like the fact that you're spending, $4 or $5 million a year to help sustain your body. And don't get me wrong, do what you do. He can afford that.
Right.
I can't $4 or $5 million a year. What? That's my life right there. Come on. with him, if that's what he needs to do to get his body ready, then so be it. But my thing is you're pretty much just delaying the inevitable. You're pushing it back.
Yeah.
To me, it's no different when these old birds go ahead and get their titties done, lips done, and boot and butt done. It's at some point the rest of your body's still gonna start looking like an old lizard, where you gonna start lifting up your whole body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
My thing is like
That's crazy too.
If you're literally spending all this much money to take away pain and abuse and pretty much work exertion on your body, you're prolonging it. Then that means what I'm saying is his body to me says that, yo, bro, you should have been done. Like you spending all this money, you literally wrapped looking like a Michelin man, all in ice on both your knees, your ankles, your shooting shoulder. Like, bro, is that worth continuing to do as it? Because now that's a routine. That's not a one game a night kind of. That's his routine now, is to ice his whole body down like that. Spend $4 or $5 million a year to help keep his body in shape, and he's still been getting injured in LA. So it's not foolproof.
I agree.
I don't know.
Oh, that's why I say shout out to the women that's spending his money. But you may try to spend his money, look like 28. Your pussy tastes like it's 88. Tastes like Metamucil and Geritol.
You still smell like being gay, baby.
Like, bitch, is your pussy leaking Geritol?
Oh man, we got
your pussy tastes so bad at me shit.
We're gonna get to some some NFL talk in just a second. My man Cool in the background, give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready. I'm actually gonna bring Cool in right now. And I want to get his take on this whole LeBron situation. What's up, my man? Cool, how you doing, bro?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? I just want to say, man, the Geritol, classic, bro. Love
it. Cool. Come on, man. Shoot it to the people straight. Shoot it to the people straight on how you feel about LeBron getting the all-time point score record, and he's gonna push it further because he's still gonna play a couple more years, and give us your true GOAT, and if him being the all-time leading scorer changes anything about him, about your opinion on who the GOAT is.
So I'm a little different. What up, Ant? I'm a little different. I don't feel like there's one true GOAT because it's hard to compare eras. What Michael Jordan had to go through to get points back in the day is way more difficult than what guys have to go through today. You've got more athletic players today. You've got guys that have more technical skill. You got guys that have better footwork, but they don't play defense. But I can't knock LeBron because he plays in this era. But by the same token, all the as my man Snowman say, the Bron sexuals, y'all need to stop knocking Kareem, MJ, Magic, Bird, Dr. J, and all those guys back in the day because they played in eras where, the guys may not have been as athletic, but they could get in you, right? You look back in the 80s and 70s, bro, they could about knock your butt out trying to guard you playing defense. Now, if I touch you, it's a foul. So there's a lot of differences between the games. So I don't feel like there's one true GOAT. I feel like there's a greatest of each era.
Okay.
But if I were to pick a GOAT, it would not be LeBron James.
All right.
He should be in the conversation, but he should not be the guy. Him winning the scoring record is a testament to his longevity, his ability to take the money and take it seriously. Kareem even said, I knew somebody one day would break it, but I knew it had to be the correct set of circumstances. One, it had to be a guy who didn't get hurt and played a lot. He had to be a superstar player, right? He had to be a guy who played most games, because the biggest threat to like Kevin Durant, who's the next active player on the list, breaking the record, is load management and injury. Kevin Durant cannot stay healthy, and he loves load management. Those things stop you from getting these records. I agree with Anthony. Only Lakers fans will say that LeBron is the GOAT.
Nah, I'm a Lakers fan, and I'm not saying LeBron is the GOAT. I would never say that.
But what he's saying is only Lakers fans would come with that.
Oh,
Not
really?
all, but
Yeah,
some.
right. Yeah,
No,
right.
no,
Right.
no. Only LeBron fans would say that.
But I was about to say, but I would add to that Lakers and LeBron fans.
LeBron
Okay.
Because
Sexers
LeBron
would
has
say
his
that.
he has his own fan base outside of just Lakers fans.
Right.
They
Right.
follow him
Right.
wherever he go.
Right.
But I think
Exactly.
you respect the accomplishment because no matter what era you're in, to be able to do what he's done after that record held for almost 40 years, that's impressive.
It
Mhm.
is.
But again, you're playing in an era where there's more opportunities to get points. There's more opportunities. You got a 3-point line. Kareem had what, 1 3? You know what I'm saying? In his whole career.
Right.
You know, another guy this is off tangent, but a guy that I think is overrated, a lot of people disagree with me, is Chris Paul. Chris
Okay.
Paul has averaged 18 points and close to 11 assists. He's played since the early 2000s to now.
Mhm.
Right? He's played through that transition from you can't play defense, you can't play zone, you can't hit people, you can't touch people, and he's averaging 18 and like 11. That's pretty good. That's not great. That's not
Right.
amazing. That's not top
Mhm.
point guard. That's pretty
Mhm.
good. And that's why I think he is. He's a really good to great, but he's not to me a top 5 point guard. Same thing applies, right? You go back in the era, you talk about guys like John Stockton, you talk about guys like Magic Johnson. We
Mhm.
can go back even further. The logo. There's so many other guys who, even in their era, were dominant. We've never talked about Chris Paul being a dominant guard. His longevity is the argument.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Has he made it to the finals? One time and choked.
Right.
These are the type of things. If this was somebody else, if you took that and you say the Steve Nash year that he won the MVP, he had the same numbers that he had, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people say, "Oh, he don't deserve it. Kobe should have got it." That's one of Steve Nash's better years. That's an average year for Chris Paul. Same arena for me.
Mhm.
So I think we need to start, instead of trying to make a guy great because he has the X amount of points, look at the totality of what he's done, right? If you take a guy that's been great for at least a 5 year period,
Right.
and he's been the guy, then that's when you start to put him in that conversation for being the greatest of even his own era. Because
Mhm.
if you've never been the greatest player of the time you played, how can you be a great player?
True that.
And it's
Yeah.
just,
Facts. Facts.
that's just my
True
some
that.
people call it hate, but my thoughts on Chris Paul. And again, congratulations to LeBron for what he did, but I'm not gonna sit here and call him the king and bow down and he's the GOAT now and all that. You're the same dude you were before you broke the record,
Right.
Hmm.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. All right. Well, we got cool here because amongst all the NBA lines that has been dominating this week, from Kyrie to KD getting traded to LeBron hitting a
Everybody.
scoring record.
Right.
Yeah, there's look, the NBA has done a fantastic job to flood the sports talk with a lot of NBA talk because it's
Mhm.
Super Bowl week, and you would not even know that it's Super Bowl week because that's how good the NBA has been really trying to dominate the sports headlines. But Cool is here because my man talks Philly Eagles. Of course, I talk Chiefs. And well, it happened to be a big game on Sunday, a very
So I heard a
important
little something
game.
about that.
Yeah, I don't know how important it really is, but so hey, we just gonna get right to it. Chiefs and Eagles doing battle. Super Bowl 57 going down 6:30 p.m. So make sure you get all your drinks, get your food ready, get your right ambiance ready. Like, hey, now answer this, fellas. How important is it to have the right people around you and right food around you on Super Bowl Sunday?
Very important, man. It's it's like part of the game, man. You got the wrong people around. I'd rather go watch it by myself in my room or something. You got the wrong food around because when you watching, you eating. You watching, you eating. You watching, you eating. And it's just something about having like that good food with you, and having the right people around you. You enjoy the game, especially like I'm a Lions fan, so I ain't never had my team in the Super Bowl. So I just roll the dice and pick somebody. So I'm looking for a good game.
I feel you.
So you know what I'm
He said, I'm
saying.
looking for a good game.
So it's like you gotta have the right people around you, man. I sometimes like once a couple years in a row I watched it. Matter of fact, The one year I watched with my boy, he's a Patriots fan when Philly beat him, and
Mhm.
it was fun in a minute, and then it wasn't fun because he taking his jersey off, switching it around, putting the jersey on the dog. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of crazy superstition stuff, man. I like it was funny at the same time. I was like, bro, I need somebody over here that's gonna kind of cheer with me. You know what I'm saying? To make it fun. 'Cause I was cheering, yeah. And I was feeling bad because I was like making him feel bad. He over there going upstairs, coming back downstairs. Maybe I'll go down backwards, you know, do all kind of crazy stuff.
Oh, so he's one of them
Yeah,
superstitious
he one of those
dudes.
superstitious, bro.
Them type of cats.
No store brand drinks. I love it. Hey, I agree. It's got to be the right people, right? If you're not around the right people when you're watching the Super Bowl, bro, you're going to end up leaving at halftime. I don't care if your team
Yep,
playing.
yep.
You don't want to leave before halftime because it's rude, and
Mhm.
it's normally at least some good food, right? So you want to at least get a little taste of that. But
Right.
you got to be in the right situation. So this year, man, I'm doing something different. Me
Mhm.
and some of the homies, we just going out. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? We just go somewhere and watch the game. That way, we're gonna be in the right environment because most places you go is at least gonna be a good section of people if they got sports TVs watching the Super Bowl. So we're doing it that way. Just we're gonna try something different.
Right.
But yeah, you got to be in the right environment, man. It kills the game for you if you're not.
And the
That's what's
commercials are
up.
garbage now. They ain't like it used to be.
Nah, commercials ain't what they
I used to
used to
love it
be.
to
They
watch for the
not. They
commercials
not.
too, and that ain't them
Yeah,
garbage now.
half of them
Nah.
you gonna see you probably already seen this week, and then they're gonna try to re-debut them like you ain't seen them.
Yeah, and
Come on, bro, I just seen that last night when I was watching WWE. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying?
I think last year halftime show kind of ruined it for Rihanna for me this year because they kind of hyped up that show last year, and I was like, yeah, I can't wait. I was like, damn, this it. So now I kind
I
of
don't know,
like,
man.
I mean, besides looking at Rihanna in
That's what
general,
I'm
I'm just
saying.
saying.
It's
You
reality,
know what I'm
but
saying? Besides, look, I'm just talking
I
about
was
the show
I
itself.
was about to say like Mel, of all people, you complaining about them putting
Yeah,
Rihanna on?
I'm
Like
like, she could get up there and saying ABCs, and I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I got Google. I can just pull up Rihanna anytime I want to.
he's
You know what I'm saying?
like, come on, man. Like Mel, like you do know it's Riri, right?
I'm just
Like
saying. I'm
That's
saying
what
as
I was
far
thinking. Like,
as the show itself. Let me be more precise. What I'm saying, the show itself.
I feel you. I feel
Yeah,
you.
you know what
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
messing with you. I feel you.
Yeah, you know. But just saying, so it's kind of like I'm watching, hoping for a good game.
Yeah.
yeah,
Who the hell this nigga say he want Adele?
Adele.
I want fat Adele. I don't like the skinny one.
Nah, I want thick. Nah, not fat. No, when she was
I mean, she
thick.
was bad. That's how I
Yeah,
was
they're in
sick.
the middle. Yeah, the middle, like the middle of the
I ain't
road one. Yeah.
right. Yeah, middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
She was a better singer.
Boy.
She need to be
Mm.
a. She need to be a.
She like Luther.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Look, we like Big Luther, not Little
Yeah.
Luther.
But
yeah.
Little Luther could sing. He couldn't blow like Big Luther. We need thick Adele. You know what I'm saying?
Once that age kicked in.
Yo, y'all wild. But look, all right. So I'm gonna kick it off like this. So, and look, so this is pretty much what I did. So I looked at some film from
Hmm.
last year's game of
Okay.
Kansas City and Philly, and I look, I get it. There's a lot of things that are different from last year, but for the majority of this matchup in the Super Bowl, from both teams, there's a big chunk of both teams that are still here in this same matchup. Obviously, there was no AJ Brown for the Eagles last year. He's here now. There was Tyreek Hill last year. He's gone. There's injuries. McCole Hartman won't play. There wasn't uh, a Hassan Reddick. He was in Carolina last year. But for the most part, just to throw a crazy percentage, about 85% of the Eagles and the Chiefs both were present for that matchup last year that I hear now.
Hmm.
And I'm not trying to say that past regular season game in week 4 in 2021 matters now. But all I'm saying is when it comes to familiarity, as in Nick Sirianni was there, so was Andy Reid. You look at the philosophy of the coaching, the play calling, and what both tried to do last year in a week 4 game. You can easily say, or common sense would tell you that possibly you can use that as a blueprint drawn in pencil, not in pen, a blueprint drawn in pencil of what you can possibly see in the Super Bowl. All right.
Okay.
And so, looking at that game last year, it was a tight game, literally all the way pretty much to the fourth quarter, pretty much. And a couple of things went Kansas City's way, and they were able to put the game away. Final score 42-30. So I only use that as a basis, but I'm not using that as a definitive answer for what I'm expecting. But I am expecting is similar game plans as in both these teams do now. What they excel at now is exactly what they did in that game. You're looking at the intermediate passes, taking the screens, taking the wide receiver screens, tight end screens, the jet sweep, the RPO. Both teams run similar offenses, and they're pretty much trying to formulate a long drive. Both excel at it now, and both did that in the game last year in week 4. I'm expecting this almost the same thing, fellas. These two teams look exactly alike. They're both going to try to establish the run. They both get after it on defensive ends, on defensive line. Obviously, the Eagles led the league in sacks with 70. Chiefs are right behind them with 55. Big gap. Big gap. That's a huge gap. But still, one you look to in sacks. So it literally comes down to quarterback play. It really does. So in that game last year, Jalen Hurts balled out. He balled out. 32 of 48, 387 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Patrick Mahomes, 24 of 30, 278 yards, 5 TDs and an interception. Now, Patrick was slightly more efficient. His team comes out with the victory. So this is what I'm saying. This game is going to come down to one position, and that's quarterback. And there's no coincidence that these two gentlemen tonight in NFL honors are going to be 1 and 2 in MVP race. So it's no coincidence. So this is going to come down to quarterback. Look, it's too much things are alike right here with these two teams. It's going to come down to Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. And as much as respect I have for Jalen Hurts, who I absolutely think the most of as an opponent, who's not on my team. I got much respect for Jalen Hurts. Following him since he was at Bama. Love his story. Man is a pillar, man. He's a leader. He's gonna be there for a long time for Philly. And as long as they continue to back him and give him the right stuff, Jalen Hurts is gonna get him a Super Bowl one day. Unfortunately, it won't be this weekend because there's a bad man named Patrick Mahomes, and that's just to me, that's just the difference. That's the difference in this. What you say, Cool?
So I also watched the film of the game last year, and I had to refrain from slinging my laptop across the room. What I did gather from that was thank the Lord for free agency and a draft, because I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you about your percentage for the Eagles from last year. Because think about how many new starters we have this year, while our defense is much better. The offense, obviously, you said A.J. Brown. That's the main difference offensively because we have a lot of the same guys that we had last year. Running back, same. Other wide receivers were there in Pascal. So those two guys are new on offense. But other than that, the bulk of the offense is the same. Completely agree with that. But when you come to the defensive side of the ball, it's a lot of new guys. You talked about Reddick. You also got to talk about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yes.
He's new. James Bradbury, he's new to the team. Kazir White, he's new to the team. So there's a large part of the starting group, what I'm saying, that wasn't there last year. And then you talk about the rotation on the line. A couple of those guys weren't there. Guys like the Kobe D in the rotation for linebacker wasn't there last year. Reed Blankenship, who plays a large amount of the minutes, he's a rookie, wasn't there, last year. And we don't need to go into Sue, Quinn, those guys. So there's a Linval Joseph and such. There's a
fair point.
I think on defense, there's a lot more new pieces. I think on offense, so your percentages aren't too off because if you take the fact that most of the offense is there, but I think it's a much revamped defense. Your guy, Mr. Mahomes, is a great quarterback, right? I'm going to give him that, but he has a gunslinger mentality. So you take a gunslinger mentality and an opportunistic defense, who was the best defensive turnovers until Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and our third corner both went down, and then we had to rely on Josiah Scott and Reed Blankenship to be those guys. We saw a little bit of a difference. So I think Maddox or CJGJ is going to get one. He's going to give them one, right? I do think both teams are solid. I think the not having Cheetah is going to – this is where you're going to see that have an effect. Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. For me to sit here and tell you Travis Kelce is not going to get his yards, you should kick me off your show if I say that. You should kick anybody off your show to say that, right? And if they come back, you should block them, like for real. Travis Kelce is going to get his. What the Eagles defense needs to do is not allow him to pounce on the linebackers. Is to double him and minimize what he can do. You can't stop him, but you try to minimize what he can do. I mean, for goodness sakes, his brother's the center. If you can't tell me something to help us minimize him, then come on, Jason, what are you doing?
Yeah,
real talk. But I mean, you look at the improvement of Jalen Hurts. A lot of people want to pray for the Jalen Hurts of last season to come back in the Super Bowl. He's dead. Sorry, he's not there anymore. You got a guy who is a better runner than Mahomes, sees the running lanes better, is faster, deadlifts 600 plus, so he's not going down easy. As you can see by Mr. Bosa trying to get that lane safety and then power them legs, he was just like, nah, we're not going to do that. Just fill out the end zone. We're not going to do that, buddy. That strength. You get in this quarterback sneak, you might as well just give us the first down because we're going to get it. If it's your yardage list, we're going to get it. Mahomes is the better thrower. I will definitely admit that. But last year, that gap was probably like this. This year, that gap's probably more like this.
Yeah, it is closer.
So if Hurts makes the right decisions, if he throws when he needs to, runs when he needs to, does not turn the ball over, or we turn the ball over less than you, I give us a very strong chance to win this game. You said Hurts will get him a Super Bowl. You are right. But it's not going to be next year or the year after that. It's going to be on Sunday. And I am anticipating the parade being the 15th or the 16th, so I have those days off work. And I am already prepared to not sleep that night. Rockstar lifestyle when the Eagles win the Super Bowl.
Might not make it.
If we lose, if we do lose, because the game still got to be played. Whoever could believe whatever, but they still got to go out there and play it. If we lose, I'm going to take it like a man, and I'm going to say we're going to get back next year. Hurts is not going to win MVP, just like Anthony Price said. He's not going to win MVP because Patrick Mahomes is going to win MVP because he didn't win it last year.
Whatever you do, man, don't agree with Ant. It's a rule on the show.
No, he's right with that. I'm going to tell you why he's right. Because they don't want Hurts to get the individual accolades. Because think about this. Jalen Hurts is the first true dual threat quarterback to be in a position to win a Super Bowl. True dual threat. Like, he throws as much as he runs. So if he goes out there and he wins this game and then wins the MVP too, then you got a clean sweep. MVP really could make him the most improved player or not, but he could be the most improved player. Then on top of that, his team wins the Super Bowl and he's either the MVP or he has a great game. Then what happens? They start running around. Jalen Hurts, that's the guy that just won, and that's the kind of quarterback you're going to need moving forward to win the Super Bowl because defenses are getting faster, the corners are getting smarter, the linemen are getting better. You got to have a guy who can do both, right? So then you see guys go higher, get reached for that probably wouldn't. That's not what the NFL wants. That's not what NFL owners want, right? So if he has a clean sweep, it's going to be a problem. So Super Bowl, we don't know. There's supposed scripts out there. They could be fake ones. A lot of this stuff I do believe there are, ways that they manipulated to come out the way they wanted to. They may not outright say you fumble the ball or you throw an interception, but I think they, know how to manipulate to make it the outcome what they want, which is what we don't know. But, I think our defense is going to have to show why we have the most sacks, why we're 5 sacks away, which I do believe we're going to get in the Super Bowl from breaking an all-time record. Now, does those 5 sacks mean we win the game? Absolutely not. Patrick Mahomes can take 5 sacks and still win the Super Bowl. right?
Mhm.
I mean, 5 sacks is 5 sacks. That's 5 plays. We got you down. You could throw touchdowns on 5 more plays, and it doesn't even matter. But I think it's everybody doing what they've done for my team all year. The defensive line being dominant. We're being able to hide the linebackers because safety help, hide some of the plays where the corner may not be up or where the corner is baiting you with safety help over the top. So they're going to do the things that we've been doing all year to be successful. What the Chiefs are going to try to do, of course, is what they've done all year to be successful. So it's whoever is going to be able to control the game, manipulate how they do things, and make things go the way they want is who's going to win this game. I believe Philadelphia is going to impose their will and win this game. Of course, I would not expect a Chiefs fan to agree with that before the game. That would be asinine.
Mel, I'm gonna bring you in here, man. To kind of after everything's been said, what he obviously you won a good game. I think we all do,
Right.
win or lose. But what are you expecting for both teams to do? And give me your X factor for each team.
I'll listen to what both of you guys were saying, and I think when you look at these two teams, I think you got to get a defensive notch to the Eagles. I mean, and so then it makes me think the defense still will championships. It used to be the old adage back in the day.
That's a
Defense
good
win
question.
championship, defense win championships. But then that was before you had an offensive juggernaut like the Chiefs. They didn't have a lot of not as strong as the Chiefs are able to score. I mean, you go back to that 13-second game. When you have a prolific offense, when you can't get this man 13 seconds. Back in the day, 13 seconds, you like, oh, we probably got this game in the bag. So you kind of look at those two different things, and those two things that come on my mind. And then I look at weapon wise. I think on paper the Chiefs have more weapons. They have different ways they can score different. You got, I think the receivers are better overall. I think the receivers are better overall. I think the defense. I think the running game is better on the Eagles side. I like Boston Scott. I think he don't get talked about a lot as as Sanders does.
And Gainwell too. Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Especially in goal line situations, man. He's almost automatic. You give him to the goal line, he pretty much automatic. So I like that about Boston Scott. When you think about quarterback, you would give Mahomes the nod, but here's why I will put an asterisk or a caveat. I think when it comes to the running part of the quarterback, even though Mahomes can scramble, Jalen Hurts is a better runner. And I think that's going to be one of the factors you're going to look at because of Philly's defense. They may have a good enough defense to contain Mahomes. Not stop him, but contain him. But can the Chiefs do the same thing on the other side of the ball against Jalen Hurts? I think that might be one of the factors you want to start looking at in this game, because when you have to worry about stopping him from running, and he also have a powerful enough arm to be able to throw it to the receivers. You got Smith, who's fast. You get that ball up there, and he can get up under it. He can beat Chiefs cornerbacks. You got AJ. I can't think of my man's name.
AJ Brown.
Thank you.
I got you.
AJ Brown.
Big and strong. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm gonna get a nod to the Eagles. I think a lot of people are looking for the Chiefs to win, but I really think this is their year. It looks like this is the Eagles' year to win it, man. All the things seem to be coming together. If you want to talk about scripts, this is a better script.
Real 2017-ish.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
This is a better script. If you want to go off of that narrative, this is a better script. Any other time I'm usually on the Chiefs bandwagon, but I think that I like.
Now we don't need you on our bandwagon talking all that shit. No.
Hey man, how I do. Look, man, I'm gonna put you in the ant category in a minute. Change my headline to fucking Lamar.
Hey man, I just want to say, Ant talking about the Washington beat the Eagles. Just wanted to point it out. I actually appreciate Washington for winning that game, because sometimes we lose to somebody who you definitely shouldn't lose to. It makes you play a lot better, because you remember went out and let this team they had no business beat us, so now everybody else got to pay.
Right.
Mm.
So thank you,
What?
Thank you.
Commanders.
The Commanders, the ugly bitch I got pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Or at least nutted in.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Really, dog?
I'm just saying. It's Ed,
Really,
man. You know,
dog?
it's because of Ed.
No, but I just and I heard what you said. Cool, man. Hey, man, you're wordsmith, man. You made the you
Made you think about it for a minute,
really
huh?
really had me. You really had me as in the Eagles was going to win the Super Bowl. You had me, man. You had
And
me
then he was
like
like, "Hold up, they're playing the Chiefs. Wait a minute, nah."
and then
I feel you.
then I had to look in the screen. I was like, wait, what my hat say? I said, wait, hold a minute. Wait hold the fuck up for a second. All right. So then here's one thing. And look, I'm looking at the front, the trench war. Because I think this game is won, of course, right here. Um, Pretty much is the same online for both teams last year. Same uh, certain tweaks on the D line for both teams. Obviously, we didn't have Carlos Dunlap, like you said. You guys didn't have Hassan Reddick. You didn't have that big hog Davis
Who was
from
a big man?
yeah,
Mhm.
that whew. You didn't have Jordan Davis. Bitch, I can't believe he fell to you guys. Howie Roseman, your general
Remember,
manager.
we jumped to get him. We
Yeah.
jumped to get him.
By the way, and cool. Remember me saying this. You're gonna have a battle of who wins Executive of the Year between Brett Veach and Howie Roseman. And I can lean towards Howie Roseman because that.
Y'all can have all the awards. We just want the Super Bowl.
Hey, I hear you. I hear you. Accolades sound good and all, but a trophy that has Vince Lombardi on it is a lot more prize, and I'm with you right there. But
And we get a lot of grief in our division too, man, because we got one and everybody else got at least three. So we get a lot of grief. So you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We,
but
we
y'all at
kind of
least
humble.
got one within the last
5 years.
like 5 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Giants got two within the last 20 years. It's been almost 20, 30 years for Washington and about 35, about however so for the Cowboys. Anyway,
Cowboys,
regardless,
they got
yeah.
them bronze trophies.
uh hey, look, I'm looking for the Chiefs to be balanced. And my only drawback about the whole Tyreek um comment that you said is that even in the game last year, y'all were playing too high safety to not let Tyreek. And Tyreek, his stats are there. It was surprisingly how ineffective Travis Kelce was. His stats weren't there in that game last year, so obviously Tyreek Hill's numbers went up,
Hmm.
and but Tyreek really didn't have explosive plays. It's a lot of chunk plays that went on for both sides of that game.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm looking at with the Chiefs. The Chiefs actually outran the Philadelphia Eagles.
And
Mhm.
They were more
it's,
balanced.
so that's not a
It,
surprise because you got to
no,
remember you played us before Game 8 last year. Before the first
mhm.
7 games of the year, me and every other fan was getting on every social media platform and saying, "Run the effing
Run the
ball, you
ball.
idiot."
Yeah, run the ball. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Eventually, y'all end up running for 103 yards as a team, but that wasn't what y'all didn't stick to the game plan of what y'all
No, it
true
was
makeup
putrid.
was.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
made me
was.
mad.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not trying to hold a lot of footage from because this is whatever happened in last year in week 4 is really just a skeleton blueprint for us to have any kind of grasp on what could possibly happen. So it's not like I said, it's not in nothing in cement.
Well, it's a blueprint for us too. Don't do what you did then.
Yeah. but but here's one thing that I'm really looking at is the Chiefs turnover differential was in the garbage. Uh and there's one thing that doesn't scare me about it is if there's a fumble here or one interception there, I'm not worried about it. It's the fact if we have 3 turnovers, 4 turnovers, then I'm like, all right, you're playing very uncharacteristic and you're playing a team that can capitalize on it too in Philadelphia Eagles. So I think turnovers are going to matter in this game as well. Um, So let me ask you this, cool. What is the one thing off the top of your head that absolutely scares the living shit about you about the Kansas City Chiefs?
The middle of the field in the area where the linebackers are guarding. That is absolutely a fearful situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you have Travis Kelce, who's going to be there most of the time, that is concerning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. That is a concern. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean y'all were able to contain them last year, like I said. So I mean, I
Yeah,
definitely
but
think that you
teams always look for the weakness in the other team, right? You're not getting, you're not gonna go up here and say, oh, I'm gonna go and try Bradbury and Slay off the bat, right? I'm not gonna run the ball up the middle of the first 3 or 4 plays of the game and show the Eagles that we're gonna run the ball. No, you're gonna look and say, based off what we've seen, where's the weakness? 4 to 8 yards off that line of scrimmage, right through them slants, go routes, different things where you hitting them right in that lane, right in those lanes. That's what y'all gonna be going for early if you're smart. And I'm worried that you're going to get going because of that, right? I'm not worried about Hurts playing well. Hurts is going to play like an MVP. Mahomes is going to play like an MVP. So I dig what you're saying earlier about the turnovers, but I will tell you this: do you really want to get an Eagles 7-10 points in a Super Bowl? Do you really want to give us anything? If you turn that ball over, we're going to get a touchdown off of it. You know what I'm saying? So do you want to spot us 7 points? I do not want to spot you 1 point. I don't want to go for no twos. You know what I'm saying? If we get the 4th down and we in field goal range, I want to take threes. I want the Eagles to score every possession, whether it's threes, whether it's sevens. I'm not worried about touchdown every time, but I don't want no stupid. We're going to look at analytics and it's 4th and 7, but in 4th and 7, we make it 75% of the time. And this is a Super Bowl, leave everything on the field. No, right. Keep that field goal. Keep that field goal. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are explosive offense. So even if we have to kick field goals 3 times versus going for it on 4th down 3 times and getting nothing, 9 points is much better than nothing. That could be the difference in the game. So I just take the points every time. Screw the analytics. Go get the old school coaching book out from the 1980s, and let's use that when it comes to 4th downs.
Matt said 56 to 20, Matt. Really?
Hey man, I'm gonna need y'all. Hey, I'm gonna need y'all to stop jinxing my squad, man.
No, the thing is, people like Matt, man. I live for them.
Man, by the way, he's a Giants.
It doesn't even matter. Whoever it is, I live for them, right? All the people who hate on us, all the people who had these ridiculous takes, Jalen Hurts is a way worse quarterback than Mahomes and all those things. That's what the Eagles live for. That's what I live for. When people be like, "Yeah, man, I think y'all gonna win. I think y'all a good team," I be like. When you be like, oh, the Eagles suck. The Eagles ain't gonna win. There's no way they're gonna win the Super Bowl. They're gonna get crushed. I'm like, yeah, let's go. That's what I like. I mean, I'll just be honest with you. So thank you, man.
Hey man, hey, they need no fuel. The Eagles need no fuel, and
hey, you can never have enough fuel because you can always run low and just refill. So keep giving us some more. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Eagles are a legit squad. I mean, they're here for a reason. I mean,
y'all too.
But I'm gonna throw this out there, and this is how much appreciation I got for Jalen Hurts. I can make a case on why he should be MVP because look at those 2 games without Jalen Hurts and how different that offense looked without him.
I wasn't gonna be the one to say it.
No, I mean I'll say.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be the one to say because then it's of course you say it because it's Jalen Hurts. No, I appreciate you bringing that up. I wasn't gonna say that.
It's a legitimate factor because look, Gardner Minshew is a backup for a reason. All right, he's a backup.
Yes,
for a
he
reason.
Is. Good
yes. But you look at the transition from Jalen Hurts to Gardner Minshew, they're 2 totally different quarterbacks, and obviously Nick Sirianni has his offense built around Jalen Hurts. So for 2 weeks, he's like, damn, I gotta build this shit around Gardner Minshew. It's not the same. It's no way it's the same. And that's why when you put the word valuable and the definition of it, value, Jalen Hurts showed his value to the Philadelphia Eagles by being hurt. He showed his value.
Because Michael Parsons was saying it wasn't Jalen Hurts, it was the team.
Come on now.
Then Jalen Hurts got hurt. And Micah, we proved that was a lie.
Hey, and the funny thing is, Micah could talk all that shit he want. the Dallas Cowboys literally had to throw their whole playbook to beat Gardner Minshew. If you really want to talk real 100% turkey, a turnover here and there that doesn't happen to the Eagles, which normally hasn't happened to them. They haven't been a very high turnover offense. Miles Sanders had the bad fumble. Gardner Minshew, a couple of interceptions. One, you might say, wish he would have not thrown in the one was off a deflected
and one,
pass. So
Quez Watkins has to be a man to go get the ball.
Go get the ball. Yes, go get the ball. I saw
you're
that.
the wide receiver. You go get the dad blame ball.
Right. You fight for the ball. It's football, not wait for it to get to you. You go get it. You got to go get. Yeah. So, look, Michael Parsons say all he want, but
Michael Parsons is a spectator. That's all you have to say.
But real quick, I know we're talking about the Eagles and the Chiefs, but Super Bowl related. Why come every time a Cowboy even get to the Super Bowl, they do something to screw it up and it can't continue to stay there? Michael Irvin, what are you doing?
Man,
I must have missed it. What did he do now? Y'all gotta tell me, man. I've been sick the last couple of days.
He got sent home for sexual misconduct claims against him. Allegations, against him.
Yeah, somebody bent over the desk.
Who knows what Michael Irvin did?
He snorted cocaine out some titties.
Hey, it's Michael Irvin. That would not surprise me.
All of that is not off the table. All of that is not off the table. What happened? Literally, all of that is
snorting up some cheeks, some butt cheeks, anything.
All of that is in play on what happened. No, for real. All of that is in play. What happened with Irvin? Why his ass got sent? All of that. Literally, all of those options are in play.
I'm telling you, Cowboys are allergic to the playoffs. To the Super Bowl. They're just allergic to it, bro. Get there and can't even do right to stay.
But no, man. Look, that's why when they do this MVP, like, okay, Burrow, I see why you put him in contention. I can see why you put Justin Jefferson in contention, even though I hate the fact that they only give it to quarterbacks and he'll end up probably getting Offensive Player of the Year, which is fine. So Justin Jefferson still gets his recognition. But when you see Josh Allen still in consideration for the MVP, I'm like, come on, NFL. What are we doing? Like, if just say we want him to take over since Brady retired. We want him to be the face. I get that's what you want. But like I said on Cool's show the other day, NFL, you just got to embrace the fact that your prize position looks a lot like us. And they're mobile. And they can throw. And it's not just one, it's a few of them. You got a handful of them that they're starting to come up, and now you're going to start seeing more Shedeur Sanders wanting to play college ball as a quarterback. Now you're not going to convert me to a running back or wide receiver or cornerback. You're going to see more of them. You're going to see more fathers be like a Jalen Hurts father who he's a coach. Jalen Hurts comes from a football coach. His dad is a football coach. Son of a coach, man. You're going to start seeing more of those. You're going to start seeing it more.
And Mahomes, man. Mahomes too, man. Mahomes he's been a dominant quarterback. Since he got into the league, since he started, he was in a perfect situation. And I'm not saying it would have been any different if he had started his rookie year, but he got to sit and watch a whole year. You remember back in the day, your best quarterback sit and watch. Aaron Rodgers, he sat for a couple of years and watched, right? We could go through a whole list. We ain't got time for all that. But there's a lot of guys that sat and watched. And that's when you saw guys come in that second year, third year, and really busted. A lot of these guys have to sit. Yeah, Jalen got to sit. He should have played about halfway through the year, but he did get to sit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. When you get to sit at least a large amount of the season or that first season, you get to see the game. You get to process the game. You get to understand the game. You get to kind of see it from the quarterback perspective on the sideline. So when you're in there, you can be like, I remember when I was watching last year, you had to do this situation versus when you just get thrown out there like these young guys are getting now for the most part. It takes a couple more years, and sometimes they don't reach that same level because they didn't get that foundation built before they threw them out there.
And Matt, just so I'm clarifying, I'm not making it a race thing. What I'm saying is that the new wave of quarterbacking in the NFL is you got to have some type of mobility. Justin Herbert has mobility, and Joe Burrow has some escapability.
Josh Allen too.
Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, they all got mobility. And so my overall theme of the new quarterback that's coming in is you got to be mobile. But with that and being mobile and being able to throw, that fits a lot of black quarterbacks style play easier than trying to force them to be your era of quarterback back in the day, which is stand in the pocket, try to
Yeah,
avoid.
I know.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
you got it with that
Like
one.
Hall do it.
There's
Man,
no
funny, dog.
argument on that one, bro. There's no argument on that
That's
one.
crazy. No.
Bro,
No,
he's wild for that. I love it.
Because I'm not making it
But
a
you know
race
what?
thing.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing. It's interesting to me how when the black quarterback came into prominence, it was always like, well, they're always running. Why they run? You know, you stay in the pocket. Why you running? So then all of a sudden the game switched to being mobile quarterback, and you seeing a few of the other ones starting to run. Now it's like, oh yeah, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But we never got the props for being ahead of the game.
Which is fine. I don't who don't need no props. It's clear to people.
Oh, I'm just saying it's an interesting thing. I ain't saying what we need it now. I just
Oh
saying
yeah.
it's
No, I trust it. I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying? I'm just
I
raising
hear
that thought, that train of thought. That's all. You know what I'm
It's-
saying? I don't need a pat on the back.
Yeah, but I'm saying it all goes.
I'm a Lions fan. I don't get them anyway. So. Oh, and fuck you, Ant.
No, because
I got my 3 fuck you at quota. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have to agree with Ant again. Daniel Jones, we got to put him on that list of mobile dudes too.
Yeah, I like Daniel
gotta
Jones.
put him on there too.
Hey,
But no, it's just that this is
Nah,
where
he wasn't
is
he wasn't a pocket passer though.
he was a
let
ground.
it too.
He was a ground passer. That's what he was.
Here's one thing we haven't talked about
What's that?
yet. We haven't really talked about the coaching in this scenario.
I don't really want to talk about that.
No, we got to. We
We go past that.
No, because I'm saying we know it's a factor in the game. So I mean, sound like you're a little worried about something cool. Share it with the world. What is your fear with Nick Sirianni in this game, man?
So it's not Nick Sirianni that I fear. It's not even really Shane Steichen that I fear. Because Steichen, he gonna make a couple of bonehead plays, and Hurts is probably gonna call the play, but I'm just gonna run because it's stupid, right? My concern is that my defensive coordinator, Mr. Jonathan Gannon, who I have been very critical of all season, not all game, but in key situations, does foolishness like a soft zone, right? Giving y'all's guys 4 or 5 yards before you're even contacted by a receiver. By a defensive player, causing them to get penalties sometimes because you're right on that line of when you would get a penalty before they're even able to contact them because of the defense you have them playing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about him not being as aggressive as we need to be, but I will say throughout the playoffs, he has done well, but I'm looking at week 1, 2 now, and there is some concern on that. Also, sometimes we get a little bit too vanilla in what we're calling on offense. Sometimes work just because of the athletes we have, but we're going to have to really open the playbook. I've said before, I think all year the Eagles have been playing with we're trying to get to the Super Bowl, so we're going to save X amount of plays until we get to that point. But I think the problem is now we're at that point, so it can't be no more saving.
Right.
So you need to be showing us all this talk about whatever's whatever. This is the time. What's good? Show us.
Well, I mean, you're quite familiar with the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, so yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, I can talk about him if you like. Better be concerned about you. Better be concerned about clock management, sir.
Oh, trust.
And you better hope that he don't get too happy with the passing game and forget to run the ball because he does that sometimes too.
Yes, he does.
Well,
he did it for many years. Yeah, he did that for many years in Philadelphia, and leopards don't change their spots.
Well, I guess I don't need to take.
Ask Andy Reid's son about that.
Bruh.
Is it too soon?
Well, damn. Well, damn, man. Well, tell us how you feel, cuz.
Well, we need to have that Rick James cold blooded. Just
Cold
ready.
blooded.
We need to have that
Bruh, like, damn, man. That's how you feel, cuz? Like, shit. But um, look, look, leopards don't change your stripes, and Cool is 100% right. All right, look, I am absolutely sitting here and like, all right, Andy Reid, please don't get conservative if you get up on the lead. Go for the kill. That's one thing that's scaring me because I'm like the last thing I need you to do is to get a double digit lead at 10, 13, 14 points and stay off the gas. Like, nah, stay on it.
Mhm.
That's what scares me. Andy Reid and Cool knows exactly. All right. So the whole time I'm gonna talk about Andy Reid, Cool is just gonna do this. All right, because Andy Reid does not have a killer mentality in him. All right. He has zero killer mentality in him, and that scares me in the Super
It
Bowl.
might be
All
negative.
right. So there's one. Now, when it comes to clock management, there's times when I'm like, all right, it's cool to get the 8-minute drives, 13, 14 plays, but you got to put them joints in the end zone. When it comes down to the red zone, sometimes Big Red gets too damn cute, does some old trick shit that they ain't done. I mean, I saw the ring around the rosy shit. I mean,
Right.
come on, like it's cute. Come on, let's get serious when we get into the red zone. Let's not keep selling for field goals. That bothers me. So that you can tie that into the clock management, and especially before halftime and leading up to the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. I need you to be more aware, more cautious, more have some gumption about you, Andy. Come on, what are we doing? And then of course, because this is what got the Chiefs the victory last year in Week 4. They were balanced. They had 271 passing yards
Yeah,
and
yeah.
200 rushing yards. 271 passing
Y'all,
yards and 200 rushing yards. They were
if y'all rush for
very
200 yards,
balanced.
if y'all rush for 200 yards this game, man, I'm leaving early. You better not do that mess no more. For real, man. I'm telling you, watching how little we run and how much we let y'all run, man, I'm telling you.
Mhm.
It was because I have two laptops. So I want to do my stuff when I have like a backup when I watch stuff on and I write on. So I was on my backup. So I was like, don't break the backup. Don't just put it down because I was getting mad. I'm telling you because I just saw like, how do you expect to win when you play that way?
Right.
Now I will say this: last year Sirianni did that same mess that Andy Reid did, but he's really blossomed since he just said, Styson, you call the plays, I'm gonna be the coach, and that's what I wanted. Right? I don't want the coach coordinator. No, you hire somebody to run the offense, and you cuss them out when they don't do what you want them to do. You manage your whole team and make sure everybody on point. And he's got the right personality for Philly now. The one thing I need to do is get some looser pants. I can't take those tight pants. Bro.
Yeah.
We got to do something about the tight pants for the Super Bowl. We cannot go up on the world stage where everybody watching and you got on your daughter's pants. Don't do it.
Yeah. I wasn't ready for that one, cuz. I wasn't ready for that one, dog. Man. But goddamn. Look, I'm telling you, Andy got to get these boys balanced. And that's what I'm looking for. Close the hammer if you get the lead. But man, I on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm literally at a 12 where I think this might be probably the most competitive Super Bowl we might possibly ever get in so far in the 57 year history of the Super Bowl, because these two teams are very similar. They are so similar. When like ever since the championship weekend, I've literally been dotting like advantages, and I've
Yeah,
been trying
and
to find them.
it's a lot of
And it's
balance
like
between. Yeah.
it's like literally if the Eagles have a advantage here, the Chiefs could counter in another department here, and then the Chiefs have an advantage here, the Eagles could counter in another department there. So it's like literally everything is literally just bouncing and bouncing, and you're like, where do you find the advantage? And literally, this is the time where I'm thinking it comes down to time of possession and turnovers. and to me that makes the difference. Because like it's literally too much similarities, man. It's like I don't care how many podcasts you go on for this week, and you're going to end up repeating the same shit because it's literally hard to find.
This is like
something.
number 10, and I'm repeating the same stuff. So yeah. Actually, it's probably more than 10, but yeah, you're right. It's the same stuff.
But it's hard to find anything that's going to separate these two teams because when I say the margin of error is literally paper thin in this Super Bowl, is literally paper thin. To me, every play matters, every yard matters. This might go down as the best one in history, hopefully, when it's all said and done. And if it do, I don't even care who wins. I mean, obviously, I would still care.
Really?
No, I mean, I'm still care. I mean, like, if we lose on a late field goal, I ain't gonna, you know, I ain't gonna bust my window out. You know?
Yeah, I ain't going to that level. Win or lose. You know what I'm
saying? No, but I'm saying if we go in there and get smoked like we did against Tampa Bay, I might.
That's what I feel you.
I might not be on social media for a few days, but you know.
Hey, I'm doing my Eagles Elite show Monday, win or lose. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, there's gonna be two different tones. If we win, it's gonna be a fun show. If we lose, I'm gonna have to go like in the car in the woods somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be a whole different situation.
Hey, how many motherfuckers you think gonna be on that show if they lose?
I try my best.
Over under 10.
Well, between all three of us, because I don't really, you know what I'm saying, I don't hit them like that. But hey, my two co-hosts, they probably gonna drop some if we lose, for sure. So I'm gonna say over if there's an L. It might be over if it's a dub too, because you know you get excited. They sometimes you drop an F-bomb real quick too. So it might be so.
No. Man. So me and Cool are said our final thoughts on the Super Bowl. Mel, take us home on final thoughts on the Super Bowl, man.
Man, I'm going to keep playing and simple, man. I'm looking for a good game. You know, I just think, like I said, I think that the biggest thing is watching the first. I can kind of get a sense of the game flow in general, watching the first couple of possessions.
Right.
That's kind of why I'm kind of interested in seeing. Okay, who's going to set the tone first? What the tone's going to be? You know and then the next thing I look for is the first couple of possessions after halftime, because then you will see who adjusts, who can adjust to the adjustment. So you know those are two biggest things I look for when I'm watching these type of games, especially when you so evenly matched. Because when you can go into the game before halftime and be tight, 3-3, 6-6, or 9-6, whatever. You know, kind of close and tight. But then you come out of that halftime, where's those adjustments at? You know, and that's and the crazy thing about it, both teams has that ability to turn it on. If you go to the NFC Championship, the game was kind of close at the beginning. I was like, well, dang, you know, is the Eagles on? What they gonna do? You know,
I was a word.
Well, Eagles fan, you know. I'm looking at it for a nigga on the outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what they gonna, you know? Then like you start seeing those adjustments. Because you know Hurts wasn't really running that much.
Mm-hmm.
That second half, he started running. And I think I can't remember it was the first or the second possession where he almost ran that whole entire possession and they scored.
It was that second one. Yeah, you're right.
You know, so I was looking like, okay, I see it. And then the same thing on the AFC one. You know, it was kind of tight. And you kind of see those little things. And that will make great teams great. To be able to overcome those different things, you know, either a tight game or to come back when you get your proposal, come back when you're down. And that's kind of things I'm looking for. And I still say I'm looking at that defense of the Eagles, man. It's stout and tight in a lot of different places. And I, you know, I like the Chiefs. You know, I like Jones. I like Snuffleupagus. You know,
Karlaftis, man. George Karlaftis, man. Stop doing my man like that.
And the same thing is I know who we're talking about.
my point. That's my point.
You was talking about.
But they're playing a lot of rookies too.
Yeah. They are
You
playing
know,
on it.
and so you want to see if these rookies gonna play like rookies, or they gonna just play like well coached and disciplined. So that's what I'm looking for.
Hey, not to cut you off, Mary.
You always do, but go ahead.
I'm just saying. I get your point about the rookies, but now we're at the Super Bowl and they've been playing with these rookies all year. At this point, these rookies didn't play.
This is a different stage, though, bro.
And have they seen a combination like Hurts and Smith all year too?
Hey. This we didn't seen Higgins, Boyd, and Chase. We didn't seen Diggs and Gabriel Davis. We didn't see Devontae Adams and whoever else wants to be a counterpart out there.
I push back on that, especially when you're talking about the Bengals. They had a little extra fuel to that fire.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
See, the Bengals are fools because you went out and gave a team as good as the Chiefs. You at Burrowhead Stadium? You for real? You got your man Eli Apple, Mr. Burnt Toast himself, out here just dropping his jaws like you don't get burnt like every other play. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can't give him props because he went to Ohio State, but go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you made it harder on your team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Your mayor popping his gums.
Right.
You got all these people like, bro, what is y'all doing? Do you not understand NFL teams take this stuff and they use it as fuel? See, I'm gonna give Andy Reid some real props here. Andy Reid's a very smart guy. You know what he did when the Eagles got off the plane and got to the venue? Hey guys, how's it going? He hugging everybody, asked everybody about their kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He making sure that he's not the cause of any extra fuel for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was Nick Sirianni, I would go on the Chiefs side, hug everybody, ask them about their kids, tell them I love them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys you guys want something from the snack bar? I got you. All that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs some extra tickets. Let me know. I got a couple of guys who they have a few people not able to come. Got you. All that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a couple of masseuse that I got info from Deshaun. You know what I'm saying? Look out for you. All that. No. We might get some video before the Super Bowl.
No. This is exactly correct. I'm not going to let this show go too. Motherfucking man.
Hey man, I'm trying to be accommodating.
No, man. What you gonna do is we ain't gonna be able to see episode 300 the way you keep
going, you motherfucker. I'll be teetering on the edge. If I don't have anybody to go with me, I normally stay off the edge. But you know how people say, oh, so somebody jump off a bridge, are you gonna jump off? Yeah, because I'm already have my parachute on, so I jump right with you.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
If I'm on the show, I got that rope. I'm gonna pull you.
You know what I'm saying?
Get that rope. I'm gonna keep trying to see how far I can get.
Listen, you ain't got to tell too much, bro, because once you start going, I'm gonna start easing right on over there with you. You know what I'm
God damn. Look, I'm
going to wrap it up.
It's gonna be a great. Yeah, it's gonna be a great Super Bowl. Gonna be some great shit. Man, cool, man. Let the people know where they can find you after we get up out of here.
Bet. So on Facebook, just Cool McCain. On Instagram, Cool_McCain. Twitter, Cool McCain. I got the Eagles Elite Instagram page. I got my own Instagram page at Cool_McCain, man. So this is the last week for a couple of my shows. So I'm gonna just get all the ones that's gonna be going forward after this week. Okay. Wednesday night, Eagles Elite Podcast, 8:30 p.m. We go year round. If there's a Wednesday, except for this week, it's gonna be Monday. But if there's a Wednesday, we talking Eagles. You know, we sprinkling a little stuff from other teams. We try to make about 95-5. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, 90-10. Mm-hmm. On Friday nights, Play Caller Sports Talk Show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. PlayCallerSportsTalk.com/live. Eagles Elite is YouTube.com/@Eagles Elite Podcast. Keep it very simple, easy to find. But man, I'm really excited about this weekend. Also on Friday nights on the Sports Empire Network, and you can search and find that. I do the Top of the Key podcast that I host. A lot of great guys on there with me, man. We talk all things NBA. There's other things coming from that side too. Tuesday nights on Sports Empire. We haven't decided what week we're starting yet, but we're going to be doing a pro wrestling show. We're talking AEW, WWE, maybe some NJPW, maybe a little Impact, maybe some of the other smaller leagues or something big happens there. But just talk some wrestling, man. Talk some shop about it. See what's popping off. Give our thoughts and opinions because I always have a lot of them. That's about it for now, man. I'm gonna leave it at that, and other things will be added back once we get back to football season. But we're gonna ride out with that for now.
Word. As always, y'all can make sure y'all tune in every Monday and Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch myself, the Wildcard Martin, the Detroit Mail on I.O.W. Sports. And then, of course, Monday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, permitting whether I don't take my ass to sleep. You will catch the Wildcard Martin at the Late Night Owl Sports Edition. And yeah, man, y'all know the deal. I.O.W. Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, on the YouTube channel, I.O.W. Sports 1 on Twitter. Man, cool, man. Appreciate you hopping in. Hey, always appreciate talking football with you, my guy. We'll do more collabs in the future. Hey, and on behalf of the Wildcard Mar, I.O.W. Sports, that's the big homie Detroit Mail, and we are out of here. We'll catch y'all Monday.